Hello. Hello. We're live. As you see, we're not on Facebook anymore. We're on YouTube. So check us out there. Thank you. Anyway, coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery and the place where metal forgot to die. This is Here Lies Metal, the podcast that brings you the origins, history, and culture of everything metal. Once again, I am Maledictus, and this is
Samantha.
We shall be your overlords for today and all of eternity. Welcome to YouTube. We're going to try this from now on. We're also on Twitch right now. We'll see if that continues. But we decided to get out of Facebook because it's kind of a fishbowl. We want to really expand and conquer the universe of metal. So basically on Facebook, we were just talking to 3 friends of ours that didn't even show up. So.
All right. Well, what do we? Maledictus has requested that we begin with a rant. And
before we get to the news.
To begin, should I preface what inspired?
Yeah, tell them why, why I want to talk about this.
So, generally I find new music on Spotify. Well, I find a lot of places, but this I found on Spotify suggested to me was, you may have heard of Gulch, who are a primarily hardcore band, I would say. Kind of some elements of other things like death metal, though. Interesting, fun guys.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to Maledictus.
I liked it.
Also, Gulch very recently, Hate 56 made a video of them going crazy. So I think they are very up and coming.
Watch that
Gulch,
video.
Very topical. Very cool band. Anyway, Maledictus has something to say.
Yeah, so I get this link, and Samantha sends me new bands at work. So I'm sitting there at work. I'm like, oh, cool, a new band. So I listen to it, and I like it. And I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like music I like, but it's like hardcore, but it has like death metal elements in it. I was like, this is pretty cool. But I noticed the title of the track and the single, it was basically like a single, right? Like it was just a single, right?
It was like 2 songs.
It was like 2. Yeah, it was an EP.
It was their most recent thing.
It was like an EP. So in the title was basically saying that it's a cassette tape. Basically, they titled it as it was a cassette tape. Okay. And at this point, I noticed like a lot of bands are using cassette tapes. Mostly like thrash and hardcore bands really are going the cassette tape route. And one reason I think they're doing it is because that was the format when that kind of, they're going that retro way, because that was the format when those bands were like doing that thing. Well, there it is. Yeah. So it's called a 2019 promo cassette. So it's a demo.
I mean, that might not be a name. That's just a description.
But I think that's what I saw.
It's just a meta name.
Well, anyway, it is obviously a cassette.
It's good though. Check it out.
Oh, no, it's really good. Never mind the format. It's good. Check it out. But I kind of just got to my wit's end, and I noticed a lot of bands are using, like I was saying before, a lot of bands are using cassettes again, and it's getting me very angry. Okay, so cassettes. I have a theory on why these things are coming back, and I know you young people are like, okay, boomer. No, you're the fucking boomer. You're using a fucking piece of technology that no one wants to use anymore, okay?
They want to use it.
You guys, the reason why you 20-year-olds want to use cassettes is because you never experienced them back in the 80s and 90s, you fucking dweebs, okay? You never had to unwind cassettes. You don't know what it's like. You just bought your first cassette. People, they don't make fucking cassette players anymore, okay? Where do you find one? I don't have one.
I'm sure you can find one.
I bet you
do have one.
Yeah, on my alarm clock, it's like half broken, because I smash the thing all the time and it goes off. But okay, like they're probably gonna start making cassette decks again and sell them for like a lot of money, like they did for record players. Which I would never ever think is gonna happen.
Okay, I'm gonna make an argument for cassettes.
Oh yeah, go ahead, quickly.
First off, I don't know how much of a trend it is outside of like the underground metal and maybe rock community.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people are buying. Are people buying synthwave on cassette? I honestly have no
Who
idea,
knows?
so I really
Maybe.
shouldn't speculate on that.
But synthwave is kind of underground. It's not really amazing.
It is underground. Like I was thinking of a non-metal / rock underground genre.
Yeah.
What was I going to say here? First off, I did grow up with cassettes, and I find the idea of them appealing. Because for one, they're a piece of physical music, a physical product you can hold in your hand that is not expensive, although I don't know how much you could buy a cassette for right now because I haven't attempted to buy any.
Yes.
But back then they were not expensive. And they're also kind of like,
Relatively.
they're not like holy objects like you're supposed to treat records, you know. Like there's a higher barrier to entry, and that you have to have this expensive record player to play a record, and also you have to devote portions of your house if you're really going to get into it to records. And a cassette, and like honestly, the biggest reason people collect records is to have the physical stuff, to have the record sleeve and the liner and everything. And you get that when you have a tape. It's smaller, you know, but it's still there. It's smaller. It's like a cheapo record collecting. It's these tapes. You don't even you have records and you don't even listen to them.
That's not the point.
So you could get tapes and not even listen to them.
That's not the point.
And you'd have the little tapes. It's like having a little bit of memorabilia.
Okay.
And all. And you could get a tape player in your car and listen to.
No, you can't. That's not true. No one's going to sell you a tape player in your car. Anyway, the reason why they brought these things back, I guarantee you, this is the reason why. This is my theory. I thought about when she sent me that thing at work. I started just fuming. I was like, God damn it, fucking tape. So that's exactly what I did. And okay, so there's this dissolution hipster out there, and he really likes records. And you know, he was angry at the fact that you could get records at your Urban Outfitters now, and he's like, God damn it, everyone's got records now. Like, you know, they're all the normies have records now. So he's angry. So he's like, I got an idea. And he started going on Reddit and stuff and telling everyone how great cassettes were. And he knows cassettes are shit. But he was like, yeah, you know, cassettes, you gotta start buying cassettes. All right, well, like, you know.
Cassettes are also nostalgic. It's nostalgic for me.
Yeah, but they're crap, though.
Okay. I don't mind. Like, I'm not a audiophile.
Okay. But we'll get into that.
And if it's cheap, I don't care if it falls apart.
Okay, but I don't know if they are cheap. You know, we don't know that.
I don't know. It's true, but I imagine they are because I think also cassettes are good for underground bands because they're cheap to make. You can have something physical that's not a fucking lame ass CD.
No, you don't want CDs.
Yeah,
I'm 100% against CDs.
People still like physical things, so you can have this cassette that's cheaper than a CD and certainly a vinyl to make, and it's something that you can give people, and people like having things.
Cassettes are garbage. Just save your money for a 7-inch, okay? 7-inches are great, okay? That's what we used to do. We used to do 7 inches back in the day, before my time, actually. But anyway, so this hipster, of course, released this thing, and everyone fell for it.
Well, people of my generation don't know what 7 inches are.
Really?
If they do, it's only because they did research. They did not grow up with 7
like,
inches.
They didn't. Bands weren't like.
Did you grow up with 7 inches?
Yeah. When I was young, a teenager, bands were releasing 7. That was a cool thing to do.
People 10 years younger than you did not grow up with 7 inches at all.
Maybe not younger than me.
So unless they became record nerds and like got into like and know what that is, like, they don't know what a 7-inch is.
Okay.
They're like, you want to release this on a 7-inch? They'd be like, okay, boomer. That's what they'll be.
No, 7 inches were cool. Like I
believe you that they were cool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They only got cooler.
Someone my age, unless you've chosen to get into records, or you had someone older in your life who taught you what they were, you did not organically know what they were like you organically know about tapes.
Okay. I grew up with tapes.
People in their 30s want fucking tapes.
My rant here is 100% justified because I grew up with tapes, okay? Everyone fell for this thing.
So did I. I grew up with tapes,
but I really grew up with them.
I really grew up with tapes.
I don't know how. You were behind if you grew up with tapes.
Well, yeah. Okay. Poor people my age grew up with tapes.
I guess so. You didn't have CDs? Like, I figured CDs were your format.
Not in the car.
Oh, really? You didn't have CDs in your car? What year was this? What year are you talking about?
I did not get a CD player in my car until... Well, my car was definitely old enough that we had it installed later.
Right.
But my car
had
a tape player.
What year is this?
In like 2003.
Really?
Yes.
You still had a tape player in 2003?
I mean, the car wasn't from 2003.
Yeah, I put one. I had Gary put one in my car.
I didn't have Gary.
I had a shitty Saturn, and I had Gary, and the thing didn't cost that much. It was like maybe like $100.
Obviously, I was poorer than you.
All right, yeah, I guess so. We were like, rich kids from Wayne.
The reason I eventually got one, which was I think my senior in high school, was because my mother had given my dad one for his birthday, and he eventually got a new car that had a CD player.
Which is
and this is
thing.
like 2003.
Right. Well, I think most cars had them by then.
And so then for my birthday, she had the CD player installed in the car. Not even my car, but the car I shared with her.
Okay. Well, in civilization, we had CD players in our cars from the mid-'90s on. Anyway, so everyone fell for this, and they started buying tapes again. They were like, oh, yeah. He convinced everyone. And he's like, yes, I got them, because he knows tapes are craps. And people are like, oh, what's the difference between vinyl? Vinyl never went away. That's the thing. Tapes went away for a reason. Vinyl, maybe in the mainstream went away, but all the audiophiles still, like when you talk to some weird nerd guy, like he still had vinyl. Like, you know, the alchemists of our life. Like they had vinyl, and they were always using vinyl. They never, you know, it just, you know, obviously hipsters started like catching on to it, and they made it cool. But there were always these nerdy guys that were using vinyl, all right, or DJs. So, cassettes were only popular throughout the 80s and 90s for two reasons. Okay, you can record on them, right? Because you didn't have CD burners in the 80s and until the mid 90s.
Also very cool for poor people.
And you could put them in your car.
Steal shit
I'm
easily.
talking, well, when tapes came out, and they're, you know, for home use in the early 80s or maybe late 70s, all the record labels were concerned about home taping. Imagine that. Like, that was the same scare as like MP3s in 2000. Home, they thought you were going to tape songs off of the radio. Oh my God, the nerve of these people. So obviously that was horse shit, but you could record on them. You could make mixtapes, and you could put them in your car. And, you know, in the 80s and most of the 90s, you could not really do that, you know. So, you know, they were pretty mainstream well into the 90s. But until they made the CD burner, you could start making mixed CDs. Probably by like the mid 90s, CD burners were becoming available. And I remember making my first mixed CDs for my car in like the later 90s, you know. And tapes at that point were absolutely pointless. So
unless you had an old car.
Yes, unless you were in not civilization, and you didn't have these amenities that civilized people have. Like, I lived in Wayne, New Jersey, and we were civilized. You were from the backwoods. Yes. So you know, maybe, you know, you and the people in Montana and stuff didn't have these amenities, but we did. And so when I see tapes, I just cringe, because I'm like, you kids don't understand. And don't dare call me boomer, because I don't want to use a tape. I don't want any media. I have records, yes. If it's a favorite band, I'll buy a record. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I have a record. I can touch it. But I'm not going to buy a tape.
Exactly, something physical.
I'm not going to buy a tape.
You might as well have a tape, because you don't listen to the records.
The problem is, A, I don't have a tape player. B, tapes sound like
buy you a
shit. It probably costs like way too much. It probably costs way more than it should. You remember those old plastic boom boxes they used to make?
You know what? I'm going to start a tape collection.
Okay, good. Get that tape. They're lighter than records, yes. True. You could get that tape thing.
And I like, because I don't like having delicate things that are worth money.
They're kind of delicate in a way.
I like collecting junk.
They wear out.
I'm not going to play them, though.
All right, you're just going to be like my records that just sit there.
I might play them.
Look pretty.
Yeah, I'm going to have like a stack.
Tapes
I'll have a little shelf with tapes on it.
Tapes look as pretty as like a 1990s Oldsmobile Silhouette. That's what they kind of look like. They kind of have that look to them.
You know, it's for for the John Waters fan, you can have a tape collection.
It really is that associated with John Waters?
No, I'm just saying like their level of class.
Oh yeah, it's just that tackiness.
It's for trashy people.
Pink flamingos and stuff.
Yes, It's tacky.
I get it. But anyway, a lot of the thrash and hardcore bands are going for nostalgia. And I'm not saying they're hipsters. They're just going for that nostalgic element, because that kind of music was always spread on tapes back in the 90s. You know, they were probably bands that really weren't cool enough for 7 inches. You know, because in the 80s, 7 inches were normal, obviously, bands of that. But in the 90s, you were kind of cool if you had a 7 inch. You know, like you're like, I have a 7 inch. We're on a split 7 inch. You know what I mean? You were kind of cool. Because, you know, they cost money. And today, they still cost a lot of money. You know, my band, of course, was like, hey, let's make CDs. And I was like, Jesus Christ, you boomers.
You should make tapes.
In some...
I bet those would sell better.
I would get mad, but it would be more lucrative than making CDs.
I bet half the time people would just be like, wow, it's a tape.
Because our
be
band,
like $4, and they'd be like, sure.
I don't know if it'd be that much. I'm not sure.
$2.
I'm not sure how much they cost.
I don't know.
They're probably
either.
more than that. You probably have to charge like $10 for them. I bet you do.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do. You don't quote me, but I bet you do. But, you know, like our kind of music would be is tape kind of music, is it not? It's definitely tape kind of music. But anyway, fuck your tapes, okay? Stop with the tapes. Stop trying to be cool. You're not cool, okay? You kids don't know anything, okay? Boomer knows. Okay.
Listen to Gulch.
And, yeah, by the way.
Thank you, Gulch.
Watch the video, by the way. Put it this way, they're a Skins kind of band. Not like a skin. I don't mean like not. I mean like they're a Skins kind of band. Like they perform. Like you could tell the singer's like, everyone get your shirts off. You know, because even if you're fat, like
get pretty standard
get
hardcore.
the shirt off. That's right.
Hardcore attitude.
Show your old English lettered tattoos.
You know, they're like, we all work out really hard.
Not all of them did, but the singer did. He, you know, they were a bunch of skinny kids. But you know, the singer, he definitely works on his body. You know, he was like, shirts off. I gotta do it with my band. Imagine that. Skins. I'm like, come on, guys.
You don't want to see that.
Shirts. No, you wouldn't want to see any of us without shirts on.
For reference, Maledictus is the Chad of his day.
Yeah, and I'm the good-looking one, so if you can imagine, yeah, it gets a lot worse. Yeah, you don't want to see these guys without shirts on.
Right. And you had another rant.
Yeah, so talking about Psycho, just very quickly, we'll talk about Psycho. There's every year in Psycho, I noticed, there's always a boomer band, right? That's fine. You need to have a boomer band, right? Last year we were lucky enough to have Arthur Brown, which is awesome, right? Like,
yeah, he was awesome.
And I was kind of concerned.
I was skeptical.
Yeah, we were all kind of like, oh, is this guy going to be any good? This guy's like an old man. And he was awesome. And we got to meet him, and he was just 100%.
It was a beautiful moment.
He was great. He was amazing. But so I was feeling the same way when I saw that Blue Oyster Cult was playing, and I'm very skeptical. And Blue Oyster Cult, one of my favorite bands ever. You know, my favorite album is Mirrors, by the way. I know you're probably like, why don't you like Secret Treaties? I like that, but I like Mirrors. Mirrors is like very
good.
It's my favorite. It's very pop. It's very catchy. Anyway, so I was like, I looked up their latest video from 2020. So I did that, and I was like, I'm thinking people at Psycho. I mean, there's definitely older people at Psycho, but there's young people too, and they kind of want these heavier bands. You know, these more kind of churned on, these more switched on kind of bands. Am I right or am I right? I don't see how they're going to receive Blue Oyster Cult the way they play.
I mean, I didn't watch the video, I admit.
Okay. Quickly.
Speaking as a youngish person, maybe not as young as you're talking, but I mean, Blue Oyster Cult's a lot more popular than Arthur Brown.
I think you're right about that.
You know, the amount of people who know just, Don't Fear the Reaper versus
it's a very popular song.
Fire, which is Arthur Brown's most popular song.
Yeah.
It's huge, I'm sure.
Sure.
By magnitude.
Saturday Night Live with the cowbell.
And
yeah.
As myself as a slightly more switched on person on this, I like Blue Oyster Cult a lot. Sure. I know several of their albums, but Arthur Brown, I was like, I knew Fire. Yeah,
he has a couple of albums, but that one is the only one really. I think he has new stuff, which I should check out. But anyway,
he plays some of it.
Yeah, which was great. It was great.
So I'm looking forward to Blue Oyster Cult.
The thing
I don't need them to get up there and pretend that they're young.
Okay, but some people should just kind of retire. I mean, Buck Dharma's up there. He's really leading the band. He was the lead singer. Still great guitarist. But he's kind of up there, really. I mean, he's old, so he has, no energy. He's not like Arthur Brown. Remember Arthur Brown was just dancing.
Well, he found the secret.
Oh, yeah, he found the secret, whatever it is. Plants.
I
think it's plants.
He's tapped into the energy of the universe.
He's and a pretty wife, for her age. Very pretty lady.
She's also tapped into the whatever's going on.
They're on it.
They're on some kind of wavelength.
They're on it, dude.
They're getting the celestial energies.
Mm-hmm. They live in Austin. They're cool people. So anyway, Buck Dharma, just no energy. Great guitarist, but no energy. And there's only two original members. It's him and Eric Bloom. And Eric Bloom was really like the star of the show. He was like the badass, And he's up there not even touching his guitar. He's kind of just, and he's not, and I know, I'm looking at him, he's not playing his guitar. I believe his title in the older albums was, his title was, people say play lead guitar. His title was he plays stun guitar, whatever the fuck that means. But if you look up the album, that's what it says. But the other new addition, the other members they have, although are very good actually. They have a guy playing the solos now.
Young people?
Yeah, they're younger. They're not young, but they're
youngish?
young. They're youngish. They're probably in their 30s or 40s. But they're very good. The guy was playing the solos spot on, and I don't know whose job it was to play the original. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was Alan Lanier's job to play the solos, because Blue Oyster Cult was one of those guitars that one of those bands had 3 guitars. So I don't know who was the soloist, but whoever the guy was playing a solo was playing it spot on. But yeah, like I said, Eric Bloom seems kind of lost. He just, I don't know. He's just, there's no energy there.
I'm reserving judgment until we see them.
Okay. If
and
someone
I think
else,
we should prioritize seeing them.
If Midnight is playing, then I'm not going to see them.
That would be a shitty plot.
Well, that's life. That's life.
I bet Athenar wants to go to Blue Oyster Cult.
I bet she does, but he's busy playing a show. So the band appears more like a second-rate casino act rather than a headline. It's like they should be playing Foxwoods or Bethlehem, around here, they seem like the kind of band. They probably have played those places. I bet you $1,000 they have played those casinos. Or maybe like a Fremont Street casino in Vegas. I think
with Don't Fear the Reaper, they just have enough cultural cachet.
They do. But they're a meme though. More cowbell. That was it's a meme.
Oh, I thought you said they were mean.
A meme. Meme.
They're a meme.
Meme.
So that's why they're booked for this young person festival.
They've played before.
Except this isn't really a young person festival.
Not really. Yeah. Most young people don't dig most of this music. Like, yeah, I'm like 20-year-olds. They've played Psycho a couple of years ago. So, like, when I first heard of Psycho being in Vegas and when it was at Hard Rock, they played. And I was like, oh, Blue Oyster Cult's playing. That's kind of cool. But, and I kind of looked into them. And it's a very sit-down kind of band. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with that. I want to sit down.
It's a sit-down. It's,
We're going to be tired, okay?
Yeah, no one's, like, when the people, because they're going to play in the big theater, I guess.
I'm sure they will.
So, there's all that standing room. Like, you're not going to want to be there.
I'm sure there will be people there.
Yeah, it'd probably be the same as Arthur Brown. Probably the same as Arthur Brown.
That was great.
And Arthur Brown wasn't, like, hugely packed, but, it was.
It was fine.
I liked it. Anyway, they're releasing a new album this year, Blue Oyster Cult.
Really?
Yes, imagine that.
We'll have to listen to it.
I'll have to give it a listen. We'll have to put it on Here Lies Metal. So, because are they responsible for a lot of metal? Absolutely. Blue Oyster Cult. Listen to them in like 1975. Awesome band. So undeniably awesome. So that's my little rants for today. So now we can get into the.
Well, we can talk about the new music now.
The music
that came out currently.
Okay. So what do we got here?
Just hit it real quick here.
We have dun dun dun. So let me look at the list here. We have. Let's start with. Dun dun dun.
Personal favorite of Maledictus.
Yeah. So I wanted to do a quick one on these guys. They have a single out called "Denied by the Cross." Denied by the Cross. Ross the Boss.
Is this their official image?
Yeah, I think so. That's them. They're a bunch of old men.
I mean, it's just so professional looking.
Ross is on the left. He loves America. So he's got the eagle with the American flag. He's a patriotic guy, He's the kind of guy who drinks Coors Light, when he eats hot dogs. He owns a batting cage in Queens.
Did you listen to this song?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Well, I wish Ross the Boss was a band, being that they're like people consider them like a retro rock act. I wish they would make retro. How all these Swedish bands make retro sounding rock music? I wish they would do that too.
What if is he not making like Manowar music?
No, he's making like the same kind of music that like Testament kind of makes, or
he's
like
making thrash music.
No, not thrash, but like how like old guys make new music, like the way Overkill makes new music.
So they're making like very well polished.
Yeah, well, I mean for their rate. I mean not at the same rate as like second rate of like Overkill, or but like how like those bands like like bands like Anthrax or Testament or Overkill come out with a new album like almost every year, and it kind of just sounds like old men kind of trying sounding like cutting edge in a way. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. Well, you know that sound?
Yes.
Exit. The Testament kind of does that with and Overkill does that a lot. Not that they're bad bands, but like maybe they should kind of try to sound old. I don't know, because it's their thing, or like when Iron Maiden makes an album, it's like meh.
That's just part of being an old man.
Yeah.
You lose that touch to that,
Yeah. It's just, I don't like the sound of it. It doesn't work with, it doesn't, and it's not like super cutting edge, I'm saying. It's just,
You know who didn't do that was Jeff Becerra.
Yeah, that's right. He sounded exactly like, that sounded like an album made in like 1989, like if they just made another album after.
I mean, it was more produced, but it didn't cross the line.
It still sounds like his voice.
We're talking about Possessed, by the way.
Yeah, Possessed.
Okay.
And he still sounds the same. He's got that kind of voice,
Yeah. So Maledictus says no to the new Ross the Boss.
Yeah. And I love Ross. And we've been trying to see Ross the Boss live. We've tried to see him like 4 different times and not been able to, like literally 4.
I think we're about to dismiss him, but we'd have to go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, we'd have to and I had to do a show, which we should have just went to Ross. I should have skipped that show and went to Ross the Boss. But yeah, so one day we're gonna see Ross the Boss. It's gonna happen one of these days. Anyway,
just go to his house.
Yeah, you just go to his batting cages in Queens. Say, hey, Ross the Boss.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you got?
All right.
No, I have something else.
You have another one.
Biogenesis.
That you insisted.
Yeah. So the reason why I noticed I'm looking at the new albums this year, and I noticed Biogenesis. Oh, I gotta switch thing. This is Biogenesis isn't like that. Oh no, not that one. Oops. There we go. Biogenesis from Germany. These guys made an album I remember these guys back in the 90s. Like, I was introduced to them by a friend, and I was like, oh, I didn't like them back then, but they were sort of like a goth metal band back then. And these guys have been, you're from Germany, by the way, and they've been around since then, not without any hiatus. And they're just kind of studying your catalog. I just was interested. They made a new album recently for 2020. The album was called A Silent Soul Screams Loud. A Silent Soul Screams Loud.
Sounds really good. Sounds really good.
Yes. But these guys have really devolved, and like they wear like nice little suits now. They look like My Chemical Romance or something, but they're old fat men from
Is that
Germany.
what? I
Right?
don't know if that's what MCR looks like.
No, MCR kind of dresses in those.
Now.
Yeah, but or maybe like one of those Fallout Boy or something.
They do look emo.
Yeah, they look emo-y for like a bunch of old men. Am I right or not? So, yeah, their music is WSOU music. That's if you don't know what that is, if you're from around here, you know what that is. Like that cutting edge WSOU music. They sound like kind of music a 20-year-old would be
liquid
playing.
metal music?
Yeah, it's metal-ish. Yeah, most of it, but some of it's very like. But it's like it's cutting edge metal-ish, and it's not.
So why are we talking about these guys?
I was interested. I was like, wow, these guys came out with a new album, and I remember them from
never heard of these
1992.
guys.
You didn't miss much, but I just kind of thought it was interesting because I remember a friend of mine being really into them in 1992. So I was like, oh, these guys have a new album, and I was like, and I listened. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, and I looked at a picture. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is a metal band. It's like, no, they haven't really been a metal band in a long time, really. They kind of went for that, whatever. I don't know what it's called, but Europe. I should have put these on Europass, maybe. I don't know. They don't get a pass. Get the fuck out.
Another cautionary tale. If we go back to this one.
Okay.
I mainly want to talk about this because this is just such a waste.
That looks horrifying. What's going on there?
Well, that's him.
Is he being assaulted?
In the first song of this band is SDI, and it's such a waste of this great album title of 80s metal band. 80s metal band. Sounds like something Fenriz would make. And that's him crushing his enemies there, except it's not really glorious in any kind of Man-O-War way. It's
like a Viking.
This album is horrible, and I don't know if they're doing outright satire or they're just so bad that it's funny.
You know when you can't tell?
They're also German, so it's like this is all English second language stuff.
Yeah, which is a Europass. I should have mentioned that in Europass.
So like they have a song called Porno where he's just talking about masturbating in bed and like hiding. He has a song about driving home from work, and he has a song about soccer.
That's real stuff. Those are real things.
They like kick the ball until it moves.
Those are real.
Oh my god. And it's just such a shame. But for a little background, this is a classic, use the term loosely, thrash band from Germany. They had like 3 albums in the 80s, and then they've disappeared until they have blessedly returned to us here in 2020 with this album.
They were one of those like third-rate bands. I remember the name. Like they were one of those like third. Like, there was like Creator and Sodom,
SDI?
And then like there were like 3
like
tiers
5
down.
levels
Yeah,
below
5 levels down. But I remember the name.
Anyway, I just want to talk about this because it was really dumb, and I love the album title though. 80s metal band is such a shame.
Yeah,
I was so excited. I was like, I don't know what SDI is, but I like this album title.
That's another virtue of being a Euro metal band. When you have irony, but you can't tell if it's irony. You can't tell. Like you're not sure if it's irony.
I'm sure they mean to be humorous.
We're not sure though.
It's hard to tell where the line is.
They might be like, yeah, driving home. It's terrible. It's the most terrible thing. It's the most metal thing ever. Driving home. It's hard. Have you ever done it? It's terrible.
Yeah, every day.
It's the most metal thing ever because it's terrible. They're like, yeah. What?
All right.
Why isn't that bad?
Let's talk about the only good music to come out this week.
Okay.
Well, actually, I haven't listened to everything yet, but this is some really standout shit here. Hollis.
Video of the day, by the way.
Hollis have released their new album, Conundrum.
You're gonna like this.
If you like
adventure.
If you like adventure, this is they're not a metal band. They're more like a prog rock. If you couldn't fucking tell from this picture. You
know what they're a lot like? I mean, quickly, they're a lot like, Gentle John, but they're also a lot like Focus.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
that's
right? A little bit. Anyway.
I don't know about that. Anyway, it's a very beautiful album. Maldix just thinks it rocks a little bit harder than the last one.
This one's better than the last one.
I don't know. I thought they were both great. I'm very into this, and I didn't even know they looked like this. And now I'm even more excited.
What did you think Doesn't that guy on the left look exactly who would sound like? Ooh!
I don't know. I don't. Try to picture what they look like. I just been sitting here in my looking at the wall, listening to Hollis. Had no idea they wore fucking capes.
These Swedish betas.
Excuse me. This is alpha male in Sweden. Okay.
Sweden is alpha male.
This is This is like God tier. This is S tier, man.
The Stone Meadow of Doom guy is having a
beyond.
conniption.
This is outside of all rankings of manhood. They have transcended gender. They don't even partake.
They transcended and came all the way back around again and hit themselves in the ass.
So anyway, it's some very high quality shit. Very good if you like prog at all. You should be all over this.
Yeah, if you're wondering what happened to prog, it's back, and check it out, really, for real.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that concludes.
Yeah, that's the music thingies
New music
for today.
Review.
So we have some news about things, news from the world. Speaking of news from the world, like the Queen album, right?
Queen's Brian May has no time for nosy reporters. Slaps.
Did you see this? You saw
camera.
this.
I saw this out of a reporter's hand.
Maybe we could view this real quick, huh?
I don't know if we want to risk it.
Maybe we can you just gotta see this. Come on.
It's not that good, honestly. What is good though, because he just comes up and you just see the cameras just get slapped.
It's in Australia, by the way.
So anyway, Brian May, Queen's playing a show there or something, or they're touring. And so I guess it seems like as soon as he stepped off the plane, he's talking to some fans.
He seems to be happy to talk to the fans.
He's being very nice to the fans. He's taking pictures with this little kid or whatever. And there's a fucking news people there.
An Australian news guy, by the way.
Not a lot's happening in Brisbane.
Brisbane.
So they're like, let's go greet Queen as they get off the plane.
By the way, the reporter was a Queen fan.
And Brian May very
fanboy
explicitly says to the news crew, "Do not film me." He says, "Go away."
He says, "You go away.
Go away.
You go away.
You Australian savages.
You savages. You go away." We should just watch it real quick.
Make a decision.
Yeah, I'll pause. I think that's a trick. Here we go.
You stop now.
You stop now.
No, I'm serious. No, I'm deadly serious.
After putting the news camera away,
he's getting
our
angry
cameraman, a self-proclaimed Queen fan, pulled out his
he's with this kid. This is awkward. Why? He's got this kid with him. The kid's probably like, "What the fuck?"
He's about to strike.
Watch when Brian May attacks. Ready? Here he comes. Oh, Brian! It's the guy from Queen.
It wasn't that bad.
Ah!
Can you honestly if you had Brian May and you were filming him and he asked you to stop, would you keep going?
Yeah, I would kindly stop. But why is he angry?
Exactly. So not only did he stopped out with his professional film camera.
Yeah.
He then pulled out his phone.
Yeah.
To take his own pic. It's like, dude, what is wrong with you?
It's like just people. What the fuck is this shit?
There's people there.
I can't deal with them. But oh, so, yeah, I know who these people are. Yeah, they're funny. Yeah, I know who these guys are. Anyway, keep going.
Okay.
Funny guys, funny.
So
thank you for listening.
Why, when Brian May asks you to stop filming with your professional news camera, you pull out your cell phone, and then he asks you to stop again, and you keep going?
No, I'd stop, but he shouldn't. I wouldn't have. If I was there, I was in Brian May, I would just be like, whatever. There's a camera. Obviously, I'm popular. There's gonna be a camera guy. I wouldn't. He's just overreacting. Why is he getting upset about it?
Because he asked them to stop and he didn't.
Haters gonna hate.
I don't know. I think the best part was when on that thing they mentioned that the cameraman was a self-proclaimed Queen fan.
Yes, he was a fan.
So that's why he wanted to take the picture. And so now he has this video of Brian May calling him a parasite.
He's like, I got to show my mates. Look, it's Brian May. I got to show me mates. Yeah, it's annoying, but whatever. You're a popular guy. You rise above that. Yeah.
I don't know. He just got off the plane from England. It's a long flight.
That's true, but he was in first class. He was in first. No, he's in a private jet class.
I'm on Brian May's side here.
No, if I was in a private jet, okay, private jet's not good enough for you. You're angry after that. I'd be like, I just flew in a private jet.
It's not like he was being a complete asshole. He was dealing with fans, and he didn't feel like having that moment exploited for some news channel.
It was all the astrophysics.
Exactly.
He's an astrophysician.
He's a genius. Leave him be.
Amazing guitarist, by the way. No sound like Brian May's. So Brian May gets mad. Sometimes people attack, right? Do we have anything else for this one?
No.
Can we watch the rest of it? Let's watch.
Go away now!
Go away now!
Fans will see Queen in their first
Queen.
Australian concert in Brisbane.
Listen,
on Thursday
Australians
night.
are barbarians.
They're savages.
And you can't give them an inch.
Look at these guys. They're savage. Look at them. They're a bunch of Australia's like a country of frat boys and barbarians.
I imagine that must be the attitude of any British person visiting Australia.
Yeah.
They're like, ugh.
They hate. When you watch Top Gear, there's an Australian version of Top Gear, and they hate Australians worse than they hate Americans. They're like, those guys are fucking savages.
Exactly.
They hate them. Because they're like British rednecks. They're like the worst. you know. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys are here watching. Keep commenting, you know. I can't really get to your chats, but I'll try to acknowledge you guys. Busy show today, guys. Pressing matters. So that's enough for Brian May, right? Okay. So,
Ozzy Osbourne reveals he's been battling Parkinson's disease since 2003. If you weren't aware, which I imagine you are, it recently came out that he had it in the first place, and now we know he's been dealing with it since, how many years is this? 17?
Yeah.
Past 17 years he's been dealing with this?
obviously,
So
there's something wrong with him.
I think this article mentions that he came out because he's now in stage 2 Parkinson's.
Is that bad?
I'm sure it sounds bad. It's worse. I think that's when the physical symptoms begin to ramp up. So yeah, he says, I'm not dying from Parkinson's. I've been working with it most of my life.
Okay, but if we read this article, he's all talking about, I'm going to tour though. You know, I'm
No, he's not. He doesn't say that at all.
But he's kind of like, no, he's like, I'm 75% okay.
Well, he says he's not about to die, but he
Yeah.
also says, I've cheated death so many times. If tomorrow you read Ozzy Osbourne never woke up this morning,
look,
you wouldn't go, oh my God. You'd go, well, finally caught up to him.
All right, but look at this.
He's cognizant.
His
He's
rescheduled
self-aware.
live dates take place later this year across North America and Europe.
Well,
Ozzy saying he's now 75% normal, back together.
Rescheduled live dates at the time of this article.
Yeah, and what have I been saying, people? What have I been saying? I've been saying it's not going to happen. Okay, and oh no, breaking news! Dun dun dun! It's not going to happen.
This just happened. He's
Ever.
canceled.
It's not going
Canceled.
to happen. Ever. It's never going to happen. Why do I have to keep telling you people this? This is just in. Brand new news.
Yeah, I haven't even read it.
Okay.
I don't think they said specifically why they did it,
'Cause
but it's kind of obvious.
Because he's 9,000
because
years old.
he's old and has Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
Which is reason enough. That's fine.
I'm going to tell
He
you.
had a rough year last year.
I'm going to tell you, boomers, this one more time. I'm going to say this one more time. He's not playing. He's 71 years old. Why do you want to see a 70-year-old one that can't do shit on there? He needs help going to the bathroom, probably. And you think you want, oh, yeah, I can't wait to see Ozzy. Yeah.
Look at how brutal this tour is.
It's brutal.
They're stopping
I couldn't do
in
that.
Sunrise, Florida,
That's terrible.
Hershey, Pennsylvania,
In
Bangor, Maine.
Bangor, Maine. They're going to stop in Bangor, Maine?
This is a comprehensive tour. Couldn't you just hit the big cities?
Yeah. Like just
Take it easy.
Yeah, cut it down. 5 cities. New York City, Los Angeles, you know, no flyovers.
Uncasville, Connecticut.
I don't know where that is.
Des Moines. You don't need him to play Des Moines.
Passaic, New York.
Edmonton. Don't go to Edmonton.
The Poconos.
Sorry, Edmonton.
Badminton. I call it badminton.
Okay.
Maybe we could move there. So yeah, he's not playing, people. That's it. End of story. And you're never, you're never going to see him play again. Ever.
We wish him a long retirement.
I hope he live long. That's it.
and
I told you all
relax.
last year. I told you all. You laughed at me. I saw you all laughing at me. You were like, no, you're wrong.
No one disagreed with you. What are you talking about?
I saw them. They were thinking about it. They're always disagreeing. Look at the comments. They're always disagreeing with me. They think I'm some kind of idiot.
That's true.
It's true. I am an idiot. But sometimes it's a common sense. And sometimes you people don't have common sense. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Let's go for the next one. Okay.
Let's see.
Speaking of...
D. Schneider backs petition to have AC/DC play Super Bowl halftime show. A change.org petition was created
that's important.
by rock fan Gina DeLecce.
Gina DeLecce.
It's an Italian lady.
Hey. So let's read what Gina... You want me to read what Gina DeLecce says?
She started the campaign to get some real metal. We might have to open her petition. I don't think we have a quote from her. We have.
Yeah, we do
Oh,
have a quote
there we
from
go.
her.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, rock fan Gina DeLecce stated the campaign to get some real metal to take the stage at in recent years has been dominating. Okay, and DeLecce has garnered the support from D. Schneider, as we said. But all right, so let's read the quote. DeLecce says, "It's been a while since we've had some real metal bands play the halftime show at the Super Bowl." First of all, Gina DeLecce. First of all, Miss DeLecce, a metal band has never ever played the Super Bowl. If you go back to 1960, whatever the fuck the Super Bowl started at, there's never been a metal band once ever. You could look it up.
Probably thinking of like Aerosmith.
Okay, that is, and Slash was in there once too. Like Slash was at like Michael Jackson or
Yeah.
some shit like that. But yeah, Mr. Lecce, we've never had a metal band, so don't get me wrong. All artists have done a great job and play the show, but we all need a turn, and it's time for some rock and roll. It's better who better than AC/DC? AC/DC, yeah. Okay.
That guy wants.
He likes football and he likes AC/DC.
He would have signed a petition, but he doesn't use a computer.
He doesn't know what that is. He doesn't know how to get to that. He's a caveman. He lives in a cave. He doesn't have electricity. But
Anyway, Dee Schneider has picked up her call to action.
Okay, so Dee Schneider says there are a lot of bands in the stadium that are stadium worthy, and a lot of bands that have sold hundreds of millions of records. But one band that I think has such a crossover appeal to so many people in all genres is AC/DC.
So what did AC/DC play?
I don't know.
Back in Black?
Yeah, you know what they make them do when they do the shoot? They make them do a medley. They make them do like 50 songs in a minute.
So what else besides Back in Black?
Oh, Hell's Bells.
Okay.
It shook me all night long. Well, so, you're about to rock. Boom, we salute you.
I don't think those songs are big enough.
Highway to Hell. They're big songs.
Honestly, I think young people now would even struggle to know Black and Black.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. They won't know. But all the old, there's a lot of football boomers, a lot of like white guys, like old white guys are like, yeah, but a lot of normies like football, and they wouldn't really give a fuck about AC/DC. Like they'd be like, who fucking cares? I want to see the game. You get these like old guys, like dads that, have their golden retriever next to them. They're just like, what the fuck is this? Stop with the fucking suit.
No, I'm sure they'd be happy.
You think so?
They'd be like,
They'd
they
be like,
saw
oh, yeah,
J-Lo
some
and
rock.
Shakira. They're like, what is
Yeah,
this
they
shit?
probably don't like that.
They're like,
But
oh,
I don't think they like the halftime show at
this
all,
isn't
though.
for me.
They probably don't like they want the game. Those
I don't
guys.
know.
They have like
On
gray
the other
hair.
hand, they might not mind seeing like some titties on the screen.
Yeah, well, yeah, they might like they'll prefer that.
Well, they'll complain about
over-
it, but they'll be okay.
Yeah,
with
like
it
this is for
in
the women.
actuality.
They're like, I want to watch the fucking game.
But I'm gonna watch it because, tits.
Yeah, they might like that. Yeah,
So.
but old like Whitey McWhiterson. He's there on his couch in his easy chair. He's got his dog next to him. He's like, now they're fucking kneeling. What the fuck is this shit?
I reiterate, after having seen the halftime show this year, that a rock band can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not like It's supposed to be a super mainstream normie act. And it's always like these has-been people like J-Lo and Shakira. Those are obviously 20-year-old acts.
There's a delay.
There's a delay,
It's
but
like a 10-year delay.
They do. That's not by mistake. They understand who's watching. They're not catering for young people. Young people don't have any of the money, so like 40-year-old women like Shakira, right? I think.
I don't know.
I don't guess.
Who knows?
But anyway, they're right on target where they need to be, and I don't know. ACD. I don't think that's gonna happen. Dee Schneider's not gonna get his way, right? Dee Schneider and Gina DeLecce. She's not gonna have a metal band because she thinks AC/DC's a metal band.
I guess score D Schneider because we're talking about him right now.
Dee Schneider. Yeah. Dee Schneider wants it to happen. He's on board with Gina DeLecce. That's enough with that.
All right.
Bye, Gina. All right.
On to another Dave. Dave Mustaine doesn't want to perpetuate false information by giving Lars Ulrich songwriting credit on Metallica's early demo.
Fake news.
The demo in question is No Life Till Leather, their 1982 demo tape.
So, this is... Oh, okay.
Go ahead. And production is held up by Mustaine here because they wanted to credit Lars, and he's saying no, it was me and James.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lars.
Yeah, he's like, it's fake news. Okay, it's not gonna. Okay, so they already released the Record Store Day version of No Life Till Leather. You can listen to it on YouTube. It's very good. It's very good actually. It's the bass playing of Rob McGovney is in a lot of ways better than Cliff Burton's. It's very got a distorted sound. It makes Metallica songs sound really good actually. Like check it out. And James Hetfield's kind of got a wah kind of voice. He's like almost like a kind of singer. It's a really good album actually. Way better than the real Kill 'Em All. So anyway, obviously Dave's problem is that he doesn't want the box set version, the 27-song box set version released. Like I said, the Record Store Day tape came out already, and actually, yes, it's on a tape, because
Uh-oh.
okay, so it was originally on a tape when it came out. So for for authenticity, here's a
Nostalgia?
picture of it. It looks like the tape. That's like what the original tape looked like. Lars wrote that. Like that's like originally from his.
Well, I should get credit for writing.
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah, it's like his handwriting. So yeah, so that's the tape they distributed. The tape that made them famous. That got copied so many times. So it was a tape. Okay, but. That's the only, that's okay to have a tape, okay? Anyway, that was released on Record Store. I remember going to the store with Gary to get it. But they want to release the box set version with 27 songs. That's what's being held up, by the way, because you're like, oh, I already have this tape. No, but so they can't go through without Dave's okay giving credit for Lars for the songs he claims he didn't write. And I believe Dave. Do you believe Dave on this? I think.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Metallica's the big money source here, and Dave isn't. So I'm gonna go with the guy.
That means Dave is, more reason
might
to
be
fuck
jealous.
things up for them.
He might be jealous. I don't know. Like I'm just with Dave on this one. I think Dave probably wrote the songs.
I feel like Dave's the type who takes credit for things
he didn't do. Well, we can agree to disagrees. We can agrees to disagrees. For this because I don't know.
And I think he really loves to paint his involvement in Metallica.
He tries to overblow it.
He outsizes it
Than it was.
Its importance.
Yeah, because clearly it was very limited. It was a very short time he was in this band.
Yes. So
yeah,
I'm not inclined to be generous to Dave.
But he's like, no, I wrote the songs. Yeah, I wrote it.
I mean, I don't like anybody in this whole
circus.
Everyone is shitty here.
Yeah, they
so.
are. They're definitely shitty.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who really cares?
It's a lot of money. A lot of people with a lot of money that we can't relate to. These guys made a fuck ton of money, billions of dollars playing metal. Imagine that. If it was 1980, that would never be even a thought in anyone's head. Look where we are now. It's 2020, and we're in this situation with metal. It's mainstream. It's because old people have the money, and they're still into their metal. Am I right? That's probably why.
I don't know. Metallica is the only band from the 80s in this position.
Mostly, yeah, that amount of money. Yeah, because like bands are popular, but they're all over here, like Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. They're over here, and Metallica's like,
it's like they call it the Big Four, but it's really the big one.
Yeah, and then everyone else.
These other bands that still have some a good size following,
comfortable,
still, a comfortable following, but nothing like Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica's like billion jillionaires. They should just stop playing.
I think they made a deal
with the devil. A deal with the devil, yeah.
I don't know. Well, also I would say I think the bulk of their, what really is the Black Album. So.
Yeah, that really put them on the main stage. They were definitely.
So it's not their 80s thrash work, which is why they're grouped in with the Big Four.
For a metal band in the 80s, they were pretty big though, compared. Compared,
obviously,
relatively to everyone else, they were definitely. But I'm saying big.
Like they're out of the stratosphere from like Megadeth because of their 90s work.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that blew them through the water. Megadeth is always
get Gary on here.
Trying to, yeah, Gary will. He'll have the, I wish Gary would watch. I would guess Gary, wasn't such a non-internet person. He thinks they're watching him. That's why everything times he goes, he thinks they're watching him. So he can't.
Even if he's watching something.
Yeah. If he just goes, everyone's watching you. You have no idea. Yeah,
we want people to watch.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, can you please watch? Can the FBI and the NSA please watch the show? I'll say nice things about you. I'll follow the plan. Okay. I'll lick the boots and follow the plan. Okay. I'll say everything you guys want. Down with terrorism. Okay. Next.
More Metallica news.
Okay, so this is silly. But.
Metallica and Ugly Kid Joe side cover band The Wedding Band announced his second ever show. So this is a band comprised of Kirk and Robert Trujillo. Ugly Kid Joe vocalist Whitfield Crane.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah.
And Bad Wolves guitarist Doc Coyle.
I think Bad Wolf is the people that were recording with Dolores O'Riordan before she died.
Who is Ugly Kid Joe?
Okay, so if you take it back to like 1990, I think it was, Ugly Kid Joe had this song called Everything About You. It was like pre-grunge almost. It was like sort of like funky, kind of like, there was a lot of funk metal in 1990. It was like the year, it was sort of in that universe. And they had this like one hit. It was the stupidest song ever. It was like made to be a one-hit rock wonder. And yeah, then I don't know what else this guy has done. And like he's been on the radio. Whitfield.
He's in the wedding band. He's friends with Kirk.
I guess so. Maybe he's from the Bay Area. I don't know.
But this is a wedding band is a cover band.
This is their set list.
Which I guess is why they're called the wedding band.
Because they play like
Very clever guys.
wedding band songs.
Look at these songs they played last time.
Kirk Hammett and Robert Trujillo are just not that clever. They just do like
This is not interesting.
dumb things now. They just do old people stuff constantly.
Although I don't know what Skin Tight is.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that song is either. I don't know that song. But you know, they do all like these standards, breaking the law. Freddie's dad with Curtis Mayfield.
Like they're not even doing like deep cuts. Like they're like actually doing like what a real cover band would do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'd imagine if you're a super rock star and someone's gonna watch you if you form a shitty cover band, like you'd probably want to like really explore the music you love and play like something interesting.
If we hired like a
Not
band,
the hits.
If we hired a band at our wedding, this is probably what they'd play.
Yes.
Like again, they'd be like, "Well, these are the songs we know." So we're just gonna be like, "Oh, that's good for everyone, I guess."
You'd be like, "Oh yeah, we can do rock and roll wedding."
Oh yeah, you could do Judas Priest. Oh, that's Billy Idol. Oh yeah, the old people like Kool and the Gang. Yeah, okay, yeah. This would have been like our wedding band.
It's like, come on, guys. Like Kirk, I know you like Merciful Fate.
Yeah,
like play some Merciful
for sure.
Fate.
Misfits, all that shit, whatever.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're playing their second ever show. Are you excited?
Where are they? Do we know where they're playing?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're not going.
Wedding band will be playing March at the Senate in Columbia, South Carolina.
It's very random.
Why? Is that the only thing that ever went on in South Carolina? Alongside drummer John Theodore, who is in Queen of the Stone Age and used to be in Mars Volta. Okay, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit?
Anyway, why are we talking about
I don't know. This is a complete waste of time, this article. It was my fault. I was like, oh, look, look, there's a picture of Kirk Hammett. Let's put this article. Kirk Hammett. Right now, his foot, if you go down, his foot is on a wah-wah pedal going, wow, 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 wow.
Maybe this is all Kirk really wanted to do with his life, was playing a
He's a bore. He seems like a, I don't know. No, he did a good interview with that guy.
Yeah, I listened to that.
Yeah, it just seems like a boring guy, but then,
He's
has
nice,
interesting things to say.
Man.
He's soft spoken. He's soft spoken.
He's
very soft spoken.
been impressed his whole life by
well, I have
James and Lars.
I'm in Metallica. It's like that's what it's like being in Metallica. You have they tell you to stop playing solos. So, but I got a wah-wah pedal, and I keep stepping on it. They didn't really say anything about that because it really makes the solos a lot simpler when I go wow, wow, wow. So they don't really complain, Kirk Hammett is beat. He's battered. Lars batters him. Anyway.
Any comments?
Dun dun dun. Do we have any comments? Dun 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 dun. Sharon needs money. Ozzy no, they don't need any money. Give me a break. Come on. They don't need any money. No, they just want Ozzy. I think just it feels obligated to perform up there, guys. Mr. Wasaic, I know where you're from, Mr. Wasaic. I know who you are. And after the show, I'll tell you what the Wasaic is. It's a place in New York, probably near where your mother lives, but it means something. Anyway, AC/DC would insult my mind. Yeah, well, what would you want to see? Comment down below. What would you want to see? If you gave a fuck about the Super Bowl, like if you were gonna sit there and watch Super Bowl, like old guy Whitey McWhiterson with his golden retriever next to him complaining about how Colin Kaepernick is kneeling, what would you want to see? Tell me to comment there. But yeah, next article. What do we got here? Yeah. Every couple of minutes we should take a breather and look at the comments. Engage. Okay. All right. Okay.
Limp Bizkit's
Okay.
Fred Durst nominated for Worst Director at this year's Razzies. If you didn't know, and you probably didn't, Fred Durst, did he write it? But he definitely directed it. His movie The Fanatic, and it was super bad. It starred John Travolta.
Super bad.
And he definitely wrote this. It was autobiographical about a fan who pursued him, Fred Durst.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part. Okay.
So some real navel-gazing shit here.
Someone was following Fred Durst? Like somebody wanted to...
Well, it was inspired by that real-life thing.
When
Can you imagine being that person?
Was this in the 90s, maybe, when he was...
I assume.
Kind of.
God, I hope so.
Did you ever think we'd be mentioning Fred Durst on this show? That's the question. I'm not sure if I ever...
Anyway. I'd actually... the only reason I'd heard this was someone was talking about how terrible John Travolta's performance
John
was.
Travolta is mostly it's only that time when he played on like Pulp Fiction. Everyone's like, oh, John Travolta's great. Every other movie he's been complete shit in ever. Am I right or am I right? Yeah. So
I mean, Saturday Night Fever, was he good in
yeah,
that?
I guess that was good. All right, fine, that was good. Okay.
Anyway, this is just a bit of humor, I guess.
This movie is a complete fucking copy. Looking at this of The Fan, starring Robert De Niro. It's called The Fan. Why does nobody mention that?
I haven't seen that movie.
It's with De Niro, and it's a lot creepier. Like this just looks here. Can we just?
No, do not.
It's one.
No. Do not do it.
I don't want to ruin our feed. Fuck you, YouTube. You can't. I don't even know. You know.
Do not do it.
Yeah, this is probably pretty
Don't
big.
complain about it. Just move on.
It's a movie. But anyway, this movie basically is about a guy following not like a sport like The Fan with Robert De Niro he was after like a sports star, like a baseball star, starring Wesley Snipes. He was like one of those crazy baseball fans. But this movie's about a guy who's following like an action hero, sort of like a John Cena kind of guy. Kind of looks
how
like
Fred Durst imagines himself.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he's like I'm an action star. I did it for the I do it, guys. I do it for the nookie. Fred Durst is just a silly. And who decided that Fred Durst could direct? Who said that was okay?
Fred Durst did.
Yeah, but somebody had to okay that. He doesn't.
I don't know how this shit works.
Like John Travolta with like it's a Scientology thing. I bet you he's a Scientologist.
You think so?
Yeah, because John Travolta. It's like all right, but John Travolta in the Scientology, he's like he can literally kill someone and it would be fine. No joke. He could literally just fucking shoot.
Is he
someone.
that powerful in Scientology? He's not Tom Cruise.
He owns his own 707 jet that he flies himself.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a pilot.
Yeah, he's a commercial airline like Bruce Dickinson. Like he could have a dogfight with Bruce Dickinson or something, and he might win. All right, and yeah, so he's got like an immense amount for some guy that was like the Saturday Night Fever guy, the guy that was Vinnie Barbarino on Welcome Back, Kotter. He like flies around in his own jet. Yeah, he's got his own house with a terminal that he parks it. He lands the thing in his house. It's a giant commercial airliner, and he lands it in his house, and he has a terminal. It's tremendous.
Well, we're not crying for him.
Yeah. So,
right.
So why is he wasting his time with,
I guess maybe it is a Scientology.
It's a sign. It's got to be. We have to look into this. Is there's something going on here. So, but anyway, the movie was complete shit.
Maybe we should watch it.
We should maybe. It was agreed upon that it was complete shit movie by everyone, and obviously Fred Durst did it. It's probably. I was watching the preview, and it, I was like, I could probably watch this, but I wonder if it'll be as bad as like Battlefield Earth or something, like because if you ever try to watch Battlefield Earth,
no,
it's like painful to watch. Like, do you ever have a movie that's actually like painful to watch, like Waterworld? It's actually painful to watch. So yeah, Tony Manero.
Moving on.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, Fred Durst, Hollywood director, with a bad start, Scientologist, hopeful Scientologist.
Okay.
You heard it here. Okay.
This week in meteorology.
Meteorology. hereliesmetal meteorology report.
Exodus, Testament, and Death Angel survived terrifying and deadly winter storm. They were on a tour in Europe, and they were on a ferry. A fun ferry ride from Sweden to Finland. Doesn't that sound like a nice boat ride?
The Baltic Sea. The treacherous Baltic Sea.
Apparently, a very violent storm overtook their ship.
It was called Sierra. They named storms now. It's for ratings, I think.
25-foot waves. Category 11 out of a 12 scale of waves, I guess.
Did they just make that up? They just made it up.
2 out of 5 band members puking their guts out.
Yeah.
This is Gary Holt, I guess, talking about Exodus. Holt. Exodus was sick.
Looks like a guy that likes to puke.
Fucking terrifying. And I think the storm had a name.
Sierra.
Storm.
Sierra.
Sierra. Or Sabine.
Yeah. Or which
Use
one?
5 dead.
Oh, which fucking one is it?
Well, there's different countries, so they all name it something different.
Yeah, if it's the Belgians called it
So
Sabine
here's a
or
nice
something.
picture of a wave.
It's a wave. So anyway, it was a storm, and it was blowing wind all over. It was blowing planes all over the place, and it was Gary Dallas Skolnick, and it was a rough ride. The treacherous sea. It was a perilous voyage. Arr.
Well, Alex Skolnick comes in here after Gary Holt's insane, we almost died.
And he's like, no, we're fine. It was
Alex Skolnick was yesterday was insane, although some reports are greatly exaggerated.
Gary Holt seems like a drama queen.
Like stuff fell over in the boat, and like Gary Holt's like, oh my god.
Chair fell over. It's terrible. We almost died. It was terrible. But didn't their equipment get fucked up, or they had to use like Death Angel's equipment or something?
Well, no. I think their equipment was on a different boat that just didn't leave
They sunk
because of the storm.
completely sunk.
No, it didn't sink.
Oh, they just delayed it.
So there was some report that Alex Skolnick here is
Yeah.
is denying that the
He's like,
equipment fell off the boat,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but it was fine.
They used like Death Angel's equipment or something. But
Anyway, that would be a sad day if 3 classic thrash bands all
died at
perished
sea.
in a died at sea. That would be a new one. Do we
Buried
know of
at
any
sea.
bands that died at sea?
Yeah, it's usually planes, right?
A number of plane crashes,
yeah.
bus crashes.
They
but
died in the sea.
Sea.
They'll make like a metal song called like the Edmund Fitzgerald. The day that Testament died was the fate of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The Death Angel sunk in the.
Anyway, so they didn't have their gear, but they made it work somehow.
The day went by when our gear went to slide off the edge of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
And the Finns are just happy that they came to Finland. They're like, thank you.
They
for
made it.
coming to
Everyone was
Finland."
appreciative. At the end of the day, Neptune, god of the sea, allowed them to live. For your Romans and for your Greeks, it's Poseidon, king of the god of
What's
the sea.
the Nordic god of the sea?
Do they have a god? I don't know. They have a god. I think
keep talking.
Odin.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it can be. Odin probably just runs everything. I imagine doesn't allow for anyone else to be king of the sea. So anyway, let's go. This is a funny story.
Oh, we moved on?
Yeah, well, I think we're done with that. Yeah, you want to go back to that? Anything else to say about this? If you have anything else to say about it.
The Norse god of the sea is Aegir.
I've heard of that. No, there's a lot of ships named after that.
He's a sea Jotun.
Yeah. I've seen ships with that like name on it. Yeah.
So they live at Aegir's whim.
Aegir's let them live.
You dare trespass in Aegir's realm.
He likes metal though.
He has to like metal.
If it were like Nickelback, he would have let them die.
All right.
The day came when the Nickelback went off the edge of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Praise Aegir for your Bay
Nickelback
Area
is from Canada, just
trash.
like Gordon Lightfoot. He would have made a song about them. Anyway, so this is funny.
This is funny. We have a video of a Mr. Bungle with who else was he playing with?
They had
band playing with.
Well, they had Dave Lombardo and Scott Ian there along with them.
So playing these very highly anticipated, long time, sold out shows.
It's a huge deal.
Everyone's going fucking nuts.
By the way, we were
fucking Mr. Bungle. Everybody.
Matt came up and invited me, and it was like us two.
You could have been there.
Yeah, people were probably like, "Are you crazy?" Like that's like going to like, and people were probably like, "Are you fucking crazy?" It's like no, he told me like a minute, like, and I was like, I kind of want to really go Monday.
I mean, we could have got tickets. Well, no, I think they sold out instantly.
Yeah,
How did Matt get tickets?
He has
I don't know. He's clever.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah. So at the show, a fan throws dead friend's ashes at the stage, and so this is a friend who died suddenly. I think we have the.
He wanted to go to the show. Did he have a ticket? By the way, did this ashes have a ticket?
Yes, he had a ticket. He was going to go. His name was Dakota Young. I don't know how old he was or why he died or how he died. I guess it's not important, but he died unexpectedly.
Do you have a ticket for those ashes?
So yes, he didn't ask for this to happen.
No, it's
but his friends who knew him well and were going to go to the Mr. Bungle show with him.
This is how he wanted to go.
Took his ashes, wrapped it in a pair of the late man's underwear, and hurled it.
It was new underwear.
We don't know. Not reported on, and hurled it on stage.
You could see it really quick. Here we can just show it. Watch this. Can we just do it? Yeah. Ashes. Okay.
That's enough.
Enough. Okay. So many questions. How did they get in there with a bag of dubious dust?
The bag had a ticket.
Maybe they could just have a ticket, but that could be. What if that was like a bag of anthrax, which would have been very ironic, being that Scott Ian is up there. If they threw a bag of anthrax at the guy,
so clever.
I'm so good at this. I'm just getting better. But yeah, no, seriously though. What if that was like some sort of substance that was dangerous to everyone?
I don't know.
And they don't even look like it did. It didn't look like it hit anyway. Just kind of
Maybe they just didn't have very tight security at this show.
Yeah, this was at Brooklyn Steel. Yeah, I think it was at Brooklyn Steel. Yeah, I think so. It was at Brooklyn Steel. I think.
They're pretty together over there.
Yeah, it's a big hall too. But yeah, just that's like, I didn't know that
it was wrapped in underwear, so it probably just looked like
they probably just threw it
underwear
out. Dude, you got thrown in the dumpster.
I mean, they're looking for very specific stuff when they search you, like
an underwear with a strange substance in it, dusty substance.
It was probably just they had a bunch of clothes wrapped up. And like, these are my clothes.
They probably figured it out, unless they shoved it up their ass or something. Yes, these ashes, they were up my ass for 14 years. Now I'm giving it to you. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
But I wish there was a comment from Mr. Bungle or Mike Patton or
because this show happened like last week.
Scotty or Dave Lombardo on what they thought of this.
Yeah,
particularly Mike Patton.
Like it looks like they didn't even know. Like it looks like it probably hit the stage.
Honestly, like that's the sort of thing that happens so quickly. You're just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, you didn't even know what it was.
Like if you looked away for 1 second, you would have missed it, and you would just see a bunch of shit on the floor.
He probably thought someone threw a shirt at them or something. Some women flashing
like, wow, did someone throw dirt at us? Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder what because this thing is obviously like 2 seconds long. I'm curious as to what.
I mean, that's how long it takes to throw ashes.
But thing landed there, and his ashes.
Then it was on the stage.
Got thrown in a dumpster. So this was not useful in any way.
I mean, maybe for your average Mr. Bungle fan, they're like, wow, my ashes got thrown on stage and then got, wiped up and thrown in a New York City
the dumpster.
Gutter.
It would have been more
awesome. They'd probably be like, cool.
It would have been more dignified to be an unidentified dead body and be buried on Hart Island. It would have been more dignified to have that happen to you. You are in a Staten Island dumpster. That's where your ashes are.
I think a Mr. Bungle fan is into that.
Yeah, he's like, I am now in a Staten Island dumpster. Your spirit to roam the Staten Island dumps forever.
Anyway, I'd love to see a comment from the band.
Undignified. Undignified, that's right.
On their thoughts on having, because this is just going to invite more people to throw ashes.
Which is not, you know where the most places happens? At Disney World. People try to bring ashes into Space Mountain mostly and unleash them.
Why Space Mountain?
I don't know, it's like, space. So they can, you could do it in the dark.
I would want mine in the haunted house.
Yeah, I think people do it there too. People actually do it at the haunted house as well. I think it's Space Mountain and the haunted house.
But I don't actually want that. But if I had to be dumped in Disney World.
No. I don't want to be ashes. I want a giant monument built to me in the middle of an intersection, and it causes major traffic.
Well, you'd have to accomplish something for that to happen.
Like, not even really popular people have that. Not even, like, really rich. Because I watch shows in, like, Graveyard where popular people are buried all day, and no one has that. So you'd have to be, like, bigger than, like, not even, like, Brad Pitt can have that. Not even, like, Michael Jackson has that. I saw Michael Jackson.
It's more like a politician, war hero type of.
Yeah, they usually don't bury them there. They just kind of make a thing there. They don't bury them there.
So, but yeah, like maybe we're gonna start having more barriers at shows and people checking for ashes. And,
do you have any ashes?
You're just making it harder for the rest of us who want to honor our dead by throwing them at their favorite.
At Mike Patton.
Metal band.
If it expanded and it hit like Mike Patton got like all over him.
I wonder if they were trying to do that.
Oh yeah, they probably I'm sure they were aiming for him.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
No one.
Why would you do that? That's disgusting.
I don't know. There's something wrong on a number of levels with these people. But
you people are savages for real.
All right.
It's disgusting. Okay.
But stop doing it and stop ruining things for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's not because and that could in what if somebody.
This is a funny story, but.
Yeah. What if somebody got in there with anthrax and they threw it at anthrax? With anthrax.
Well. It's going to be harder to bring anthrax to the show now.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for ashes.
They might, it might slay them all. Okay. Oh, look who's back. Dun, 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 dun.
Fan Nab's first photo of Cannibal Corpse guitarist Pat O'Brien since his arrest. If you recall, Pat O'Brien was arrested for, I think it was originally trespassing in his neighbor's house and threatening her.
It wasn't any of that.
No, he did do that. That was the inciting incident.
Listen.
And then upon investigation, the police found a very large arsenal of weapons.
That's just awesome.
Very powerful weapons, and also some human skulls.
He had skulls and flamethrowers.
And what he got arrested for was being very insane in his neighbors.
Listen, in Florida, you have the right to have all of that. Okay,
is he in
did
Florida?
nothing.
I don't think he is.
Yeah,
He's not in Florida. He's in like Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
He wasn't Florida? No,
Oh,
after
nope.
Florida. Yeah, no, I remember.
Oh wait, he was photographed in Kentucky, so he's
Right.
left Florida.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you can't.
Maybe he's more sane.
But
now.
listen, in Florida, there's no reason he should have been arrested. He didn't do a lot of time, obviously. That's not a lot. For having
He'll
like
be out on
flamethrowers.
bail.
He had like bazookas, like rocket launchers, flamethrowers, napalm. He had all this cool, like, he got arrested for the most metal thing ever. And he's in Cannibal Corpse, so you have to like, you gotta like stand, when you're in Cannibal Corpse, you gotta have like flamethrowers in your house and skulls. Okay? He just did some awesome stuff.
Here's the post.
He didn't really hurt anyone. He pushed an old lady. He pushed an old lady.
I think
She was probably really
He
annoying.
definitely scared his neighbor.
Yeah, she was probably
He broke
like,
into
"Meh."
his neighbor's house, and I if I recall right, it was like he was scared. He had like some conspiracy theory he was scared of.
He's from Florida. He has the right, as an American and a Floridian, to have all these things.
Anyway, he's loose. He's going to your bars. He's
I welcome him.
He appeared in court in an anti-suicide vest and shackles. So
I remember
he's
that.
Clearly, he was going through something.
Yeah, I remember the pictures of that. Yeah.
Clearly, was going through something, and I'm gonna guess he just made his $50K bond,
Mm-hmm.
and passed a drug test, which is even more concerning in
He
a way
wasn't-
that he wasn't high.
He wasn't on drugs.
Not
He
on
was on
drugs.
Florida.
And he's actually not out of Cannibal Corpse.
No, he's gonna be back.
They have their producer, freaking producer, Eric Rutan, filling in.
From where Eric
He's
Rutan is from.
Morbid Angel.
Yeah, a guitarist from Morbid Angel. Uh-huh.
But they said that he's still welcome back in the band once he gets his shit together.
You will. It's just Florida. You guys know you're from Florida too.
Well, if Cannibal Corpse won't have him back, who would have him
Yeah.
back?
He did. He has flamethrowers. He has skulls. Don't we all strive to have flamethrowers and skulls?
It's just part of the lifestyle.
I want to have one day flamethrowers. And I live in New Jersey.
I don't want a flamethrower.
No, you really? Because
It's a fire risk.
no, it's you. Listen, when it snows out, golden.
No, I don't think that would help very much.
I would just hose the car down with a flamethrower.
What?
Yeah, just burn the snow off the car.
That sounds like you're getting a way to make the car explode.
No. It's the snow just melts off. You do it like
You can't
go the
gently
right
flamethrower something.
Oh, you could. You just learn the art of flamethrowing. This guy knows.
Maybe with a welding torch.
Oh no, it's just like a flamethrower, but it would instantly melt the snow off the car.
Have you seen a video of this?
Yes.
Okay.
I know
Well,
what I
I'll have to watch that.
You know what I saw a video of one really quickly? There was a dude and he was getting rid of a wasp's nest, but with a flamethrower.
Well, that sounds appropriate.
This guy was the coolest guy ever. He looked like he was from like the road. He had like a mohawk. He had this like leather, like he had this. You look at the guy from Sabaton. He had like a mohawk, and he basically you hire him, and he shows up and he flamethrows the fucking wasp's nest.
Sounds really dangerous.
It was the cool. I was like, that guy is cool. I was like, I want to be that guy. It was probably in Florida too.
All right.
I just thought it was really cool.
All right.
Oh, this. Oh,
Pat
some
O'Brien.
political news next.
Watch out. This
He's
isn't
fine.
so much a news article as a thing happening in social media.
Right now,
Happening currently.
it's growing right now as we speak.
Stone Meadow of Doom YouTube channel outed for racist comments by metal community. So yes, I'm gonna leave it to you to explain.
Okay.
Who is Stone's Meadow of Doom?
Stone Metal of Doom. Okay, so the guy, Stone Metal of Doom, I discovered this guy randomly one day on YouTube. He has a very large, very heavily followed YouTube channel called the Stone Metal of Doom, as he says. And, it's a place to find new stoner and doom. I found I learned about a lot of bands that he posts.
So is this like a talk show?
No, he just places videos.
Does he talk on them?
No,
Okay.
he'll do like a bit sometimes, like on the intro video. Like he'll do like a little thing. He's doing whatever he's talking. Like he'll do something. He'll tell you
It's
what's
like a
going on.
diary, a music diary.
Yeah, but he just puts videos and he just puts the artwork and he puts the songs and the whole album. You could listen to him. I would listen to him at work. I'd be like, oh, cool. And I would just go down a rabbit hole on his thing and learn about all these new bands. That's how I found out about Uncle Acid. That's how I found out about all his bands. It was on his Dead Meadow and stuff. All those bands I like I found all of them through him. So but one day I'm watching, and sometimes videos you like will be like, if you like a video, it'll show up on your feed, like if from you have like a little playlist of videos you liked. So I noticed there's a David Duke video in there.
When did you notice this?
This is years and years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah. When I would watch his thing, right? And
I got on Twitter and told everybody.
I didn't think. I was just like, oh.
You were at the ground floor.
I didn't think anything.
You're probably one of the
sure
first people to notice.
I'm sure a lot of people. I'm sure. I'm surprised it took this long for everyone to get onto it. But anyway, so I noticed that. I was like, oh wow, But anyway, I just kind of faded off. Just started listening. Had like Spotify, so I started just listening to Spotify and stuff instead of going on his channel. But so eventually, I found him on Facebook, and I joined his Facebook page, not really thinking anything of, and I noticed, he posts things, and and I'm not offended by anything, okay? Like, you could call me a dirty Puerto Rican spick in front of my face, and I'm like, what do you got? What else do you got? But and I'm not, and he's posting all these like really cringy, like, a lot of like really MGTOW incel kind of stupid pussy shit, and I'm just like, ugh. And I was like, another one, like really just like stupid stuff, and I'm just like, ugh. Eventually, I'm deleting this guy. Like, that's how bad it was. It was that bad.
For Maledictus to
and I'm not offended.
Cancel someone for himself.
And I have a lot of offensive people on
intense.
my feeds, like that are really. I just kind of look at them as entertainment. I'm like, oh, look what this fucking guy's doing now,
He has a very high tolerance for this cringy
and this
shit.
guy, I was like, oh god, like, I'm done with you. First, it was like all this like incel MGTOW.
Do you think it was
shit.
also worse? Like, you're less willing to put up with it because this is ostensibly a music dedicated to music.
Yeah. And a lot of people were complaining. They're like, dude, this is a music channel. Why are we getting all? Yeah, that was another thing. It's like, why are we talking? This is you're supposed to tell me about new doom stoner bands. That's what you're good at. Why are you So anyway, this guy's kind of the guy.
Anyway, I don't know what prompted all of this to come up very suddenly. I remember, if you remember me asking out last week, I saw somebody on Twitter, just like a scene guy, PR guy, kind of just being like, so what's up with that Stone Meadow of Doom guy?
Yeah.
And now this week, suddenly
kind of exploded.
Everybody is fucking talking about it.
It's memes being made.
But I don't know what particularly. I think it was this one band, what were they called? Horse something?
Yeah.
I think I have it up over there.
Yeah, on the thing. Let me see.
They asked him to take shit down, and I think he was like an asshole to them because they asked him because they didn't want to be associated with that horse burner. They tweeted, "Real talk, this will not be tolerated. End of story. We've asked for our album to be taken off of Stone Meadow of Doom channel, uploaded without asking our permission," which is another thing he does. Yeah, apparently.
So he finds all this stuff and he puts. Apparently, I asked today, and I'm like, "Is this guy monetized?" They're like, "Yeah." And apparently, some bands even pay him to, like, smaller band, like a band like mine would like pay him to like put the stuff up. And I'm like, this fucking guy's monetized for putting up other people's shit. And I was like, I fucking hate when I hear about shit like that. I always get mad at like these people like doing nothing on YouTube and making all this money. Well, he's a perfect example. Some fucking guy that's doing nothing. He's doing shit. He's stealing other people's shit, and he gets a lot of views. Okay, in the grand scheme, he gets a lot of views. He has a lot of followers.
Anyway, also just to give you some, the stuff that's getting him in hot water, not besides just Maledictus discovering he followed David Duke or whatever, it's just, like this, whatever he posted right here, like talking about like starts with a J, ends with an U.
Oh yeah, let's read his.
Like,
want me to read it in his voice?
You go ahead.
You're almost there, but still off. Go deeper. Who's pulling the strings? Vastly overrepresented in government and media, owns the banks and thus owns your nations. Starts with a J and ends with a ooh. Stone Meadow of Doom.
Is that what he does?
I swear he says it like that. I swear. Find a video of him. He's like a Midwestern
there's
kid.
A few other cringe things like that. By the way, we're looking at this is just a blog, motherfucking zine. We'll just give a shout out to that right now. It seems like a cool
absolutely
website.
Cool. Very cool, guys.
they put a lot of work here, putting a lot of social, because this is all just a social media
They
phenomenon.
got all the records.
This isn't, I don't think it's on any. It might be on Metal Sucks.
These guys are leading.
But,
Yeah, I'm sure Metal Sucks is definitely.
This is definitely Metal Sucks.
I think these guys were on it first. Metal Sucks would just steal from these guys. I'm sure Metal Sucks would talk about this though, because they like stuff like this. They love drama.
Anyway, he did post some kind of apology at some point. I don't know when he did this.
He's like, yeah, I know Jewish people.
He's like, I know. I worked with a band from Israel. I love Jewish people. We have a shit post Saturday. Sometimes we get edgy and very politically incorrect.
Edgy.
And it's
Stone Meadow of Doom.
And I say something very polarizing to spice things up.
Oh, edgelord. Ooh.
I'm sorry to anyone I've hurt. Okay, he's really apologizing here. That is not me. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Jews.
Please do not cut off my source of income.
Is that what it? You don't.
Why else would he apologize?
Monetized. You should be never monetized because you don't do any of your own
Because
work.
when you're a grifter like this, all you have is your cred.
Mm-hmm.
So if he gets canceled, he's fucking done. He's gonna have to get a real job.
Yeah.
Or
in Nebraska.
I don't know where he
He lives
is.
in Nebraska. I'm pretty sure.
And
Obviously.
this blog says after he posted and deleted this apology, he deleted the apology.
Oh, he wasn't sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
That's because his subscribers started deleting him.
Oh, right. So his base, his base, they're like never apologize. Yeah.
So like, if you're saying you're just posting cringe and just trying to be edgy, but the only people you have left listening to you are actual Nazis,
you might as well just keep them.
Then
yeah, you might as well just go with it. Okay, Stone Meadow of Doom guy. What's his name? His name
was
is
Clint.
Clint Bead. He looks like a beady little fella. Clint Bead. So Clint Bead, maybe you should just stay based and keep your Nazi. Just go with that. Don't apologize. Just go with that, dude. Just be
He's not going to make the money anymore.
YouTube might be like, well, YouTube shouldn't be giving you money anyway.
There's no NSBM for doom metal. There's no scene for that.
No, never has been. Not that I'm aware of.
If he was doing black metal,
then you'd be
it would be more. There'd be more money for him to make there.
You have a community.
But there's no money to be made in National Socialist doom metal.
I never heard of it.
NSDM. It's not there. It's not a thing.
Why don't you start it?
You could try to make it happen. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Based doom.
Doom guys, these stoner guys, they're not.
Yeah, like smoke their weed.
They're not into that.
Some of them are a little libertarian, but that doesn't mean they're Nazis. I mean, some of them are
That's
a little
the
more.
opposite of Nazis.
Yeah, some of them are a little more like, hey, we just want to smoke our weed and be free of the government. But it doesn't mean you're a Nazi if you do that. That's perfectly okay. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this guy. We're gonna keep you updated on this guy. On
Clint Bead.
But Maledictus was there on the ground floor.
Yeah, I had listened to this guy, and
shockingly,
and he's good at showing us, bands. I was saying Samantha should make with all the music she finds, she should make a channel doing the same thing, and perhaps get monetized. Who know? If this fucking idiot could, like, why can't she? And just do it for all the music that you like. You should. Because you just the amount of bands you find.
This motherfucking zine also.
I like these guys.
They recommended on the bottom there some other channels you could follow.
Yeah. What do we got here? Oh,
So,
what are these guys?
Plenty of people. I've heard of Ripple Music before.
Oh, cool. These are also YouTube things.
Heavy
All right.
Psych Sound Records.
Yeah, I've seen that
heard of.
before.
Yeah. So
Riding Easy.
there you go, guys.
Yeah. So you don't have to. There's other people doing this. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just one. He's just a. Typical Nazi grifter guy. His cover is blown. It took long enough for you people to blow his.
You could have done it.
Stupid little cover.
Think of all the credit he could have gotten if it was you.
I was like, I think it was important. I was like, I just, when I was on his Facebook, I just canceled. I was like, it's just, stop talking, man. You're cringy.
Oh, there's also allegations that he just lifts articles from people.
Yeah.
He plagiarizes.
Like, well, who else does that? I don't know. Do I do that? No. Do I do that?
Do you do that?
Did I do that? Don't I do that right here? Am I doing it right here?
No.
No, I'm just commenting on things. Everyone does this, actually.
That's not what plagiarism is.
Yeah. Tim Pool does this. Okay, Tim Pool does this, right? And he's legit, right? So.
All right.
Yeah. So that's all for today. Do we have anything else?
That was it.
That's all the news we have for today, folks. Folks, I have something to say to you. Die. No. Thanks again for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media, including Twitter at hereliesmetal, Facebook at hereliesmetal, Instagram at metallieshere, and give me a shout out on Gmail, hereliesmetal@gmail.com or hereliesdictus@gmail.com. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button and comment down below. This is a live video on YouTube, but we're going to do clips though, so, check out those clips if you don't want to watch this whole stupid thing and watch only the important bits of this. And comment down below at us. Like us, subscribe to us, tell everyone about the Here Lies Metal podcast. Maybe we'll get some more bad comments. That's fine. Hey, no one's gonna like everything you do. I think people don't like most things I do. But hey, I've always been outspoken. I can't help you there. Thanks for everyone for tuning in here today. All you guys out there for commenting. Very good. He is a neckbeard nerd. That is right, Mr. Pocono Schwartz. That's exactly what he is. He's a fucking nerd. Okay? He's an incel fucking nerd who, like, women don't go near. And it's simple as that. He's like a little millennial guy. He's like, nah, how come women don't talk to me? Because you're a loser. What do you want me to tell you? Stop being that. As Mel Gibson says, stop being that. Okay? So that's it, folks. What else do we have to say?
Good night.
Good night, everyone. In the near future, we're going to be like moving and stuff. So this show is probably going to be off the air for a Nebraska nut job, exactly. For some period of time, maybe like 2 weeks or so. Like we might be off the air. So if you're all clamoring for the latest episode, we might be down for some time. Now, and this is in a couple of weeks, but just letting you know, for the near future. So anyway, everyone, thanks for listening, everyone, and keep on listening and stay metal and get those flamethrowers, okay? In skulls. Okay? What do you have to say? That's it. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for listening. Da-da-da-da.